I'm a creative on a journey to go full time. But let me ask you this. Have you ever felt like giving up even when you have come really far on a goal? Today, I want to share with you what I do when I feel like quitting, especially when things aren't exactly going super well or it feels like I'm making little to zero progress. Because honestly, lately I have felt frustrated with the growth and progress on my social media channels and platforms, and just movement of selling my art in general. I think that the most exciting part of setting goals is obviously the beginning. When we get this moment of clarity, this moment of inspiration, and we want to take that step towards inspired action. It's when everything feels possible, anything we imagine can come to life, and we're not sitting there in the midst of thinking about how am I going to get there. We just have this vision of where we want to go. It's the becoming, it's our dreams gestating in a chrysalis. And I really feel that this stage honestly feels the most magical. The second stage is bringing these dreams into our reality. It's messy, it's sticky, sometimes we're met with a lot of resistance. We don't always know which direction to go next. And like currently I am fostering some pupas in real life, and if you've ever watched a butterfly transform, when the pupa emerges out of the chrysalis, it's messy and gross and sticky. And there's this red discharge, and it's not pretty. And the butterfly has to go through a lot of struggle and pain to get out of the pupa. And I guess that's kind of where I feel like I'm at right now. I'm going through and I'm breaking through. But even when you emerge out of your chrysalis, and when the butterfly does, their wings are wet. They have to pump fluid to their wings before that they can fly. So even though they are a butterfly and they have wings, they still have to sit for this moment before they can fly free and move on to the next stage of their cycle. And I feel like this is the stage where I'm at. I'm breaking free. I know I'm almost there, but I'm not there yet. And that's frustrating. I know what's going to happen. It's just a matter of time. Something's going to pop off, something's going to work, something's going to click. But I have currently 60 videos, and I've recently been getting less views. And I'm like, why? I was happy with my 50 to 100 views. Why is this one only getting 7? How discouraging. This YouTube journey can be a little discouraging at times. I thought I was gaining traction, and then there were crickets, and I was like, why? Maybe I'm not cut out for this. Maybe this isn't for me. Maybe I should just give up. Maybe I should just quit. At some level, am I self sabotaging myself? Is there something I started doing wrong? Or is just the final stage of the cycle I need to push through before I get my breakthrough? I'm definitely in the middle. I'm not at the beginning of my journey, and I'm definitely not at the end. There's a lot of things that have changed internally, but I feel like my external world has not quite caught up to reflect that interchange, if you know what I mean. And I feel very in between lives. I can see it, it's clear, I know what I'm going for, but it's like when I reach out, I can't quite touch it. What are some things that we can do when we are pushing through the middle? We can see the world we want to enter. We can see the world we are creating internally, but it has not quite reflected in our external reality yet. A big one that I often do is I return to the joy. I think about that time that I decided I wanted to go after this. And for me, there has been many times over and over again that I have decided, yes, I'm going to do this. And I quit. And then I decide, yes, I'm going to do this. And I think because I've quit and started so many times, I'm just like, girl, you know, you're just going to regret quitting. So you just have to keep going, even though you don't feel like it. But I returned to that joy. What sparked that inspiration? What was I aligned with? What, before I had to do all the messy action steps and take action and think about schedules and content and blah, 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 what was that initial thing that was like, ooh, this would be fun? What made this dream exciting in the first place? Sometimes it's just returning to the fun parts. Obviously, if you decide you want to go to school, you just got to do the work. But I think the hard part about starting a business is sometimes we just don't know when things are going to take off for our business, and we just have to keep showing up and trying until things start to pop off. And so sometimes what I do is I take a step back. I'm like, you know what? Maybe instead of working on my business or working on content, I need to just draw tonight, or I need to just paint or create or do the fun aspects of my business. That is the reason I started in the first place. And this aspect is creating without expectation. I'm not creating something for a series, I'm not creating something to sell. I am just creating for the pure joy of self expression, because that is super important to do and find a balance in, especially if you are a creative business person. Another thing I like to do, and I don't know if you guys have started reading the book The Artist's Way, but I have started journaling every single morning. I started January 1st journaling every day, and one thing in week 5 that she suggests is that if you're having a hard time with something or you want to more deeply understand something, a great strategy that you can do is ask yourself that question before bed. So last night before I went to sleep, I was like, why am I not gaining momentum in my business? Like, why do I feel so stagnant? And then in the morning, we can journal about it and maybe gain a little clarity, or at least find a way to be softer and more kind to ourselves. Another great strategy is to seek advice from others. Watch the story of other artists. What is their life's work? What is their story? How did they get there? What did they have? Did they have something that was stacked against them, or a situation that they too had to break through before they became the professional artists that they are today? Or even just watching, for me, because I'm frustrated with YouTube, I'm like, okay, let's just watch and review what are some strategies, or right now, what are some things I can do to keep it fresh? Is this normal to still have such low engagement after making so many videos? Because I feel like I've been consistent. I feel like I've made a lot of videos, but I just got to keep showing up and keep this momentum going. Obviously, my last and final tip is that I try to soften and surrender and allow, like, understand that there's only so much action I can take, and there's also a certain amount of surrender I need to give up. Like, I have control over making the content, editing it, and being proud of the work I do. I don't have control over how many people end up clicking on it. I can review it, I can look at it and be like, okay, what could I make different? What could I make better? But at the end of the day, I just have to let it go. And the same with my art, same with everything else. I can make it, I can create it, I can promote it, I can promote it, but at the end of the day, I have to let go of the idea of like, oh, it needs to reach a certain amount of numbers or likes or follows or whatever. It just is what it is. Just that trust of trusting what is unfolding, what is the next step, without having to know every exact step from point A to point B, but just letting that next step unfold for you. This is just part of the path. It is part of being in the messy middle. If you want, also, I have another video about being in the middle and being in this kind of weird stage if you want to go check that one out. Otherwise, let your wings dry, because you are more transformed than you think. I hope that this video resonated with you, and if it did, please feel free to share your thoughts on where you're at in your journey in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. I'll see you guys in the next video. I'm going to be continuing to keep going. I got to get myself up and back and just, you know, keep figuring it out, because that's all we can really do, right? We figure it out. Growth mindset. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye for now.